Hi guys, good evening. Sorry for the quality of my camera. This is because I don't have any better equipment at the moment, but just tuning in to greet you all Happy New Year, and I hope that we can look at the last year with a lot of lessons to learn and a lot of opportunities for us to realize that we can do a lot better this coming year. So with that said, welcome to my channel. This is gonna be mostly just a hobby channel for me to show off my gaming videos and but also talk about other things like let's say politics or my favorite is our conspiracy theories. Who doesn't like a good conspiracy tinfoil hat theory anyway? But with that said, I hope for this coming year that I'll be able to learn a lot from interacting with you guys and also sharing all my videos and sharing the fun times and maybe also the bad. So here's a good luck to me and to all of us because I'm really hyped up to start pumping out so much content. So anyway, other than that, let's have a recap of what happened this year. So, on the politics side, we had modernization of our armed forces and a lot of infrastructure development. So, most of the news I'll be covering is would be more of what I, as an individual, experience from what's happening around here in my country. If you guys didn't know already, I'm from the Philippines, and it's still a developing country. So, but lately there's been a lot of changes, a lot of positive ones, in fact, and for people looking outside of our country, I'd love to share what's happening here so that you're all a bit more informed of what goes on over here anyway. So with that said, so modernization of the AFP, infrastructure development, the war on drugs is continuing. Uh, as for its progress, we've made some progress. I mean, it's not as bad as it was 2 years ago. You could say we were one step closer to being a narco state, but thankfully that's gone out of the way. But still, it's not, and it hasn't ended. It's still ongoing, and I don't think it will end anytime soon. And for the people that keep saying, "Oh, that's not ending, it must not be successful," well, drug wars are very difficult to wage to win. So it's going to require a lot of patience, sacrifice, and not only that, a lot of changes within a society for it to be really lasting. So that's not going to end anytime soon. I'm very optimistic that it will, but that can only happen if my people, if our people have a change in habit, in and in thinking, because they can, yeah, the government can wage drug wars all they want, but if the change isn't coming from inside of us, then I don't think I don't think it will do much in the end. Ultimately, it'll all go back, and that's one thing I don't want to see happen. And that's one of the many reasons why I'm going to start making videos talking more about these kinds of things aside from the hobbies that I'm going to show, because I love my people and I hope to see them I hope to see them move forward, move forward with their lives, live great lives, and build our nation. So sorry for the try hard inspiration speech, but anyway, other than that, other than local news, aside from that, we also have big news coming from France at the moment. If my countrymen didn't know already, there's been this huge revolution happening in France lately. It's called the Yellow Vest movement. Now, the mainstream media has painted this movement as a simple, small movement that's just about protesting fuel taxes on French people, when really that was the case at first, but it actually grew to something bigger. It became more of an anti-EU movement, not even just a demonstration, an entire movement throughout France. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I've been seeing recaps of 2016, and well, most of them are about, all the typical things you'd see from the refugee crisis to your typical celebrity news. And I think it would be very important to bring this up because it's not being reported at all. It's being uh wash like just brushed aside. The MSM isn't reporting this at all. It's very big, very big. You could say almost as big as the USSR collapse in the 90s. But anyway, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. It's big, but I don't know. I have no idea whether it would really have a really lasting effect, or if it's going to escalate. I think it will, but for now, we would have to watch and see. So, other than that, aside from local news and outside news, on the gaming side, I'll be making few gaming videos at the moment. There's this new game that's, well, it's not really new, but it's an alpha. It's been alpha for a year, I think. um, there's this new game that I just bought on Steam. It's called Foxhole. It's a really interesting top-down shooter MMO hybrid kind of game, and I've been getting really into it lately. There's two sides there. Ones are the wardens and the others are the collies, and they call it a persistent world warfare shooter. So what that means is there's like this really long protracted total war of attrition going on between two sides, and it's very focused on PvP. So that means I'll be interacting with a lot of players to fight alongside them, to fight the enemy side, and to win the war. And the campaigns can last very long. They can last days, weeks, maybe even a month or something like that. And they have certain design mechanics like logistic systems, building, uh, a lot of non-combat roles actually. It gets really interesting. So I've been into that game lately, and the things I've experienced there range from building new war machines to running logistics and supply runs to just general combat and tour of duty, so to speak. So I'll definitely be uploading a lot of videos on that, and I'll be playing with a friend or two. So I hope I can upload that as soon as possible. So other than that, today's the start of a new year. I hope we can look forward to this year with not just hope and much optimism, but with much hype. Yes, I know that a lot of there's also been a lot of bad news in the gaming industry lately. Think companies like Bethesda and EA come to mind, but with the continued rise of the indie gaming development industry and communities, I, I'm quite optimistic on that front. And no, I'm not talking about your simple 2D pixel games or anything like that, but I'm mostly talking about things like the games I'm mentioning, like Foxhole. There's also really there's also a lot of decently good indie games out there, like Insurgency as well. So I think that yeah, we're gonna get a lot more good indie games, especially for others like Cyberpunk 2077. I'm also waiting for that, and I'm hyped up for that. So that's definitely on my radar, and I'll cover that as much as I can later on when new updates for that game come out. So anyway, have a happy new year, and hope to have more fun with you guys, and I'll see you soon.